Welcome to Original Minds, an Intrizio podcast. We are back again with another one of our Artist Spotlight series. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Jahmeel. Say what's up, Mr. Jahmeel. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the conversation. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate it.
We really appreciate you sitting down with us.
Yes, sir.
We're grateful for it, and we're just excited to be able to share your story and put the spotlight on you.
Yes, sir.
So just get right into it. Before you came in one word, we asked you why you make music, and you said?
For therapy.
Therapy.
Okay, because I'm too broke to afford real therapy.
Yeah.
And music has always been there, has never left my side. You know, whenever I needed a friend to call on, music was always there. Whenever I needed to feel, I don't know, uplifting, music was always there. Whenever I needed to get my emotions off, like I guess when I'm mad, music is always there. It's always been there for me. So it always helped me think clearly. I'm able to get my thoughts out effectively, really. So I really appreciate music in that regard. But yeah, it's therapy for me, most definitely.
So, you draw, you shoot, you sing. Which one came first for you?
Sing.
Why?
Only because it was literally the first thing I started doing when I was 4 years old, was singing. That's all I did. That's all I did was sing. I annoyed my mom. I annoyed my dad, my cousins. That's all I used to do was sing.
What were you singing at 4 years old? You remember? Or what were some of the earliest things you used to
It's
love
kind
to
of
sing?
embarrassing.
That's so embarrassing.
There was this song by LaToya Luckett called "Torn in Between the Two," and I really loved that song back then. She was from Destiny's Child, I believe.
Okay.
But back then, that was a hit for me. And "So Sick" by Neo. Those were the two songs. Yeah.
And so, getting more into where'd you expand from singing?
So, when you said where do I expand from singing?
Yeah. Or so you started singing at 4. When was kind of the next step in your musical process and journey?
I would say when I got into choir in middle school, my choir teacher, Mr. Favors, Lord rest his soul, because he's no longer with us. But he was an amazing dude. He heard me singing in the hallway one day.
Yeah.
And he was like, are you in choir? And I was like, no. And then he was like, we need you in choir. And I was like, I don't know, but I guess. And so ever since then, I got in choir and I just loved it. I just love just singing with people and harmonizing and hearing the beautiful sounds. It just I don't know, it just makes me feel complete. So that just really expanded my liking for just music from there. And then there onto high school is when I got into the a cappella choir. That's when I really had to hone into on my skills. My choir teacher at the high school, her name was Pamela Dawson. She won a Grammy recently. So
I feel like I've heard that name, but I don't know. Wow.
Yeah, you could probably look her up. She did win a Grammy.
Excellent.
But yeah, she always just instilled great values into us, like to always work hard, to always stay on the note, to always be clear when you're singing. So she always would yell at me. Back then, like I had so many flaws, and she just nurtured me into the singer I pretty much am today. Yeah, I always hear in the back of my mind yelling at me, "You gotta know the notes. You gotta know the notes. You gotta know what you're singing. You gotta know it." She made us read music. I still can't read music to this day, but I know the notes, you know.
Yeah.
So whenever I hear a note, I can stay on it, but I still can't read music. Sorry, Miss Dawson. But other than that, she just instilled great values into us to always work hard, to always build your own table, to go after what you want. And so with music, this is what I've always wanted. So I just took those values and put them in here and build my own table. That's what I always tell myself, to build my own table. And whatever I build out of it, the people will, gravitate towards it. So that's what I always tell myself. I hope I answered your question.
No, you did.
No, absolutely.
You did.
That was awesome. You go ahead, Tom.
So to go back to what you had said earlier about how you had kind of shifted focus during your choir years to sort of doing a cappella, as somebody from the outside who doesn't really know the difference between those singing styles, what would you say are some of the challenges that come from singing a cappella compared to singing with actual music behind it?
Okay. okay, with music behind you, it's very safe. You can't really hear the flaws in everything.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When it comes to acapella, you make one wrong note, it doesn't matter if it's small or big, everybody can hear it. And that's what my teacher stressed us. You always have to stay on your note. You always have to know your note. And so when I'm doing backgrounds, I make sure that everything is perfect. I make sure my vowels are the way they are. I make sure I'm singing correctly. I make sure I'm just making sure everything is perfect, because yeah, I may mess up here and there, but as long as I just keep, the foundation that I already have with, I think I'm going off. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
You're good.
As long as I just, focus on the notes and just really hone in on them. Because, guys, to be honest, I'm musically schizophrenic. And I'll be telling people that, and they're like, what does that mean? I'm always hearing sounds every day, all the time. I'm always hearing sounds.
I hear you, yeah.
No matter if it's a note or something, I always have to put something in my voice note. So I just love putting sounds together and creating it, and just making it sound beautiful, making it sound like music. And
I admire that. I admire.
That's the creative drive.
yeah,
That's the creative drive.
definitely creative drive, man.
It's
Can
funny.
we go back to the question? I'm so sorry.
So it's funny because he asked it, because I was going to ask the same thing,
Yeah.
which is it hard to? How hard is it to do a cappella? Because that seems to me very
back
difficult.
Because I went off. It is very hard. You do have to stay on your note.
Yeah.
You can hear the flaws in every single thing. You honestly can. So I would say acapella has definitely humbled me and has definitely made me a better singer today. Because singing with people is not easy.
No.
It's not easy at all. If you're supposed to be it's gonna sound weird. It is. So you don't want to sound like a train, is what I always say. So you always want to sound like just like a, what's the sound?
Yeah.
It's like a beautiful. Rainbow isn't a sound, but it's like you want it to, form like a rainbow. Everything's
Yeah, I
connected.
understand that.
So
together,
you don't want it to sound like a train coming at you, being ready to hit you in the face. So basically, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think we very much are working on our voices and trying to improve our singing, because we'd never had that like classroom teachings or natural. We unfortunately didn't do choir, and I wish I did. I wish I would have gone all of that, because now I'm trying to learn it now, and there's so much into it that I admire that you've got all that, and now you can hear it in your voice, you can hear it in your music too, and so that's awesome. From your singing to your writing, when did you start writing?
Oh man, I started writing when I was 10 years old, bro. Like, I remember I wrote a rap song that I got in trouble for. It was very raunchy, very not a 10-year-old's not supposed to say lyrics like that. But I got in trouble for it. But ever since then, I was just like, this is fun. So I started originally writing stories first. Like, I used to make my own books because I was really into reading.
Yeah.
And I started from making my own books. I would draw, really make it out as a real book. Like, I would take papers, fold it, and, little real arts and crafts shit. So that has really gotten me into writing music, because, I was singing and I loved imagination. I like creating things. So I was like, why don't I just start writing? Because all my favorite songs back then, all the pop songs back then that I used to love, I wanted to make music like that. So that's when I started, and I started writing my songs. I still have those songs till this day. When I was 10 years old, I still have them.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But yeah,
I wish I had my songs when I was
Man.
started writing. I've maybe got a couple, but
It keeps me grounded. So
that's
yeah.
awesome. I've got all my iPhone notes from the second I had an iPhone, which was 2014. So
Oh, that's dope.
I've got all those at least. I just could go back. But that's funny. I'm a huge pop person, is why I started with pop music, and I thought that was what that gravitated me towards music, is that feeling, and that I like the simplicity and the happiness of that.
Exactly.
What pop brings out of you.
It
and
was
the
so happy
sensations.
back
Yeah.
then, So I really appreciated that. That really got me into the writing aspect. And then as the years gone on, I've gotten better, and I've really focused on the subject matter and being intentional with my writing. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Were you gonna say something?
No, you're good.
But yeah, I've always wanted to be intentional and just say what I wanted to say without it being weird, or me saying not me saying too much, or me being too raunchy. I just wanted to
So what does that process look like when you're getting ready to write a song?
All over the place. All over
Some
the
of that
place. I'm a
schizophrenia
Gemini.
mixed in music.
Yeah. So like my it's highs and lows. My process is very different all the time. It's like a roller coaster, I always say.
Yeah.
And I can never get off of it. I can never get off this musical roller coaster. Whether I'm going through writer's block, it takes a lot. But
Yeah.
man, that process, going through it. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, just to help. Do you find a melody? Do you start with a word? Do you start with?
It's different each time. That's the thing. I can start with a melody. I can start with a word.
Yeah.
I can see something on TV that may inspire me. I can see something on the street, a person walking.
Right.
Something happens to me all the time. But I write about things that happen in my life all the time. So it's just
Absolutely.
like
Yeah.
I always have to tell the truth and just give the realism of through my writing. So
Just
that's
being authentic.
basically, yeah. I just want to be authentic within myself.
So now that you've written the song, right? What does an ideal studio session look like to you?
Do you record
Something like this, really.
Really?
Yeah, I record in a studio it's an
Home
apartment
base.
studio. He has like his little, I don't know what they're called, but they're like
Acoustic panels?
Yeah. He has those like all around, but it's really like it's not professional, but it makes do. It does what it needs to do, and as you can see, the sound is amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. You said, do I prefer a small studio or a big studio? I'm sorry.
Do you prefer a home based studio?
A home base. Yes, I love more home base because it's more comfortable compared to like let's say a studio that everybody records in. You know.
Yeah.
I
It's more
can just-
personal.
yeah, it's more personal.
Yeah, special.
It feels mine. You know.
It feels more intimate.
Exactly.
Like you're displaying these emotions.
Exactly.
But it's like one person and nobody else. So
Exactly.
so that's what I like. That's what I like. It's like I like to let my thoughts just go. Just let them go.
I don't like to think too much.
Right.
I just like to let it be. It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Right.
Do you like to have fun in the studio, or are you more serious?
I love to have fun in the studio. I'm a little bit of both though. If
Yeah.
I'm really trying to like get a note, I'm more serious because I really need to get this note. But
Yeah.
most of the time, I'm more fun especially after I'm hearing all of the stuff that I did. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
I just got a new toy. I feel like I got a new car right now. This
Right.
is amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it.
How about takes? Do you feel like do you take a ton of takes? Do you usually get it knocked out in a
I
few?
take a ton of takes.
Yeah.
I take a ton. Man, I sometimes feel like my engineer is. Sorry. Sometimes I feel like my engineer is tired of me because I take so many takes. But he's like, no, it's fine. Like, just do what you do. Keep going. And I'm like, okay. Because I have so many stacks. I have so many takes on these
Yeah, yeah.
songs. So, man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I-
What about you? Do you?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
say I take a lot of takes.
I definitely
of
push for
I
Big B
do.
to get more takes, especially as we've learned more in me. I've learned more in mixing. I think the more takes you have, the better. It's just more for, like you said, play around with. And
Yeah.
I can do something
It's more
crazy. I
fun.
can do special. I can try to throw a weird random effect on this, or maybe I can build layers and harmonies through this.
Right.
And
And see, with
so-
me, I like to make weird sounds in the
Yeah.
music. So, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
experimenting with that. Black
That's
Eyed Peas got me into that. So.
Really?
Black
Yeah,
Eyed-
we're definitely messing around with like we've been listening to like production style from like Don Tolliver. So like that real ambient and it's like spacey, weird kind of effects and kind of like mixing
Yeah.
psychedelic and funk with melodic
His
trap.
music is very ambient. I really
Yeah,
fucks
Yeah.
with that.
And so that's a lot of the things we're playing with, and then also just throwing weird things and experimenting. I think, we don't like to put ourselves in a box at all.
No.
So there's so many genres, and I want to make a new genre. I don't care. I want it to be a blend of like 12 different things, and whatever, and throw it in.
Exactly.
To go along with that, this type of conversation always reminds me of that one Pharrell Williams interview that he did where he was talking about his music making process and about how he views sounds of specific genres as like almost like certain materials. So he's like, I wonder what diamonds would sound like rubbed against satin. I wonder what these
And that's
types
a
of
great-
materials, I wonder if you took
Yeah.
this and this, what would it sound like if you put them together? What kind of specific sound would it make? And that experimentation, that comes from the curiosity.
Yeah.
Right.
He said like, what does a rock sound like in cotton candy? Was another one, and so it's like combining two different types of feelings and emotions, colors, textures. It's like it's a weird way to picture it and think.
And
I was
making
like,
something
it's
beautiful out of it.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So you push a lot, and from what we've seen, you really kind of push that lonely boy, kind of lover boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd love to get into, what do you tend to, like, do you tend to write towards coming to the same topics? Do you gravitate towards love? Do you gravitate towards that lonely feeling? Do you, and maybe where did that start from, and where does that idea of, like, if you, and not to get too personal, like I said, I don't, but
No, it's fine.
I
I'm
definitely
open
saw it a
book.
lot as like the lonely boy, and so
Yeah.
I've always referenced like lonely chapters and stuff, and so I was curious. I thought it was really cool, just kind of that title you gave yourself.
Yes, sir. So, getting into that, I've always been a loner, you know.
Yeah.
I had a select group of friends, but we're not really friends anymore. I've never really like had a genuine connection throughout my years. So I just adopted this moniker, Lonely Boy, because in school I was always by myself, or just in my own world pretty much. And I just like that feeling. I just like the feeling of being alone. It was peaceful. I didn't have to deal with anybody talking shit or deal with anybody I didn't have to deal with mess, you know what I'm saying? So just being alone felt so peaceful, and I loved it so much, and I just wanted to embrace that, and that kind of played a part in my music. Back then, in the early 2020s, I was very just to myself. It just felt safe that way. More as of now, I'm more open to new experiences, love, or just love in platonic ways, just finding friends, finding people to connect with, you know what I'm saying? And having somebody that loves me, my boyfriend, he loves me so much and supports me so much. And having that just fills me with so much gratitude. And I just want to like really get out there and just, you know what I'm
spread it,
saying?
yeah.
Just spread it. Like, come on, y'all, let's all just dance. Let's have a party or something.
Let it
you
go.
know?
Yeah, have a good time.
That's how it should be. I mean,
Exactly.
honestly, that's how it should
Absolutely.
be. Music,
Yeah.
music is the one thing that draws us together across every single timeline, regardless of if
Exactly.
you're
Yes.
a human from the ancient era or if you're a human from now. One thing that we all have in common was that we all bumped to a beat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He said
Magical.
that. Exactly.
That was
It brings
Yeah.
something out of your body, like
It
a
definitely
reflex. It's
does.
something
Yeah.
that was supposed to happen, that your body is supposed to do, that you're supposed to feel. You're supposed to be able to let go. And
Exactly. And that's what I loved about that whole experience of me going through this dark time in the beginning, and then after all of that, just feeling gratitude, just feeling great.
I guess that tells because you say lonely boy, but then I look at your whole aesthetic and it's all bright. It's all pop. It's all spring colors. And so maybe without looking at what you'd see, I would think of something a little more darker, a little more
Oh, I have two
sad.
sides.
I know. Oh,
So that's
But-
that Gemini in me.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
get the light, bright, but then also on the on the undertone tip, it's a little dark and murkiness underneath. You know what I'm saying? Gets dark a little bit.
and so, and even kind of what we said earlier with Pharrell, how would you describe your sound if you couldn't say a genre, if you, any other type of word?
Can I just How can I describe it? Damn. I had it in my head, but then I forgot.
Yeah, take your time.
How would I describe my sound? So, just like I said, it's a roller coaster. That's pretty what my sound is. Because there's no specific lane or
Right.
there's no specific way I would go. It's just all over the place. You know, I love everything. I love making everything. I can do dance one day. I could do country the next, or I can maybe even do rock and R&B or rap. It depends. It's a whole roller coaster.
And so you and so maybe going into genres now though, what kind of genres are influenced? I think I've heard some emo and all, maybe even R&B a little bit, as well as with the
Yes.
pop. Or what are you experimenting in right now or recently?
I'm experimenting into more like dance, pop,
Got it.
more into that. Because like I said, I grew up on that stuff. Katy Perry, Usher,
Yeah.
Black Eyed Peas, all of that stuff. My first song that I ever heard from Katy Perry was Hot and Cold on the radio. And ever since then, I was like, yeah, I want to make music. This is fun.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I have cried to Katy Perry's the one that got away most of the
Oh,
time. So when I was in middle school, I was just, I'm gonna lie. I like that
that's
song. I love
Exactly.
it so
I wouldn't even cry. Like, who am I crying about? Why am I crying? I don't know, but the song is beautiful. But yeah, I enjoy like I'm in the dance pop tip right now, but you know, I really want to do it all. I fuck with rock heavy. I
Yeah.
fuck with soft rock. I fuck with alternative R&B, folk. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
with music. This is artist. I think she's British. Her name is Christine in the Queens. It's no, she's not British. She's not British. I'm sorry. She's French. There's a song that she has in French, and I love it so much. I wish I can play it, but it's a beautiful song, and it's folk. You know what I'm saying? And I may want to get into that vibe. I may want to get into that bag later on, but it's all beautiful to me. It all sounds the same to me, and I can pretty much fit into every lane, to be honest with you. So, yeah.
I mean, I like that. You know, it's not keeping yourself constrained to a specific type of genre. Not
Exactly.
getting yourself into a box, and I feel like expanding out to all of these
I don't
different
like being
genres.
controlled or confined.
Exactly.
So, that's
And
the thing.
It also
does.
simultaneously too, it just sharpens your music making ability because now you're able to draw from these different things that you listen from. Now you're able to see, okay, this worked from here. So what if I did this? And it goes on with the Pharrell Williams talk we were saying.
Right. And you want to know who inspired me on that tip as well? Tinashe. I feel like she definitely expands her genre. She has like a lot of deep and murky stuff that a lot of people don't get into. Yeah, she's pop, but at the same time, like, she's very layered, if that makes sense. Like, there's layers to her. And that's what I wanted for myself for so long. Like, yeah, I can do this, but there's so many layers to me. There's so many things that I could do. There's so many things that can become of this. So,
I think your music definitely shows your layers, honestly. And artists need that. They need
Right.
different ways to express themselves. And I think you do a really good job at that.
yeah.
It should be like a notebook, I think, and like your own personal
Autobiography, like,
through all the music. And so, if you're not changing your sound and or trying in new things, you're not.
it gets boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets boring, and people are gonna let you know.
Right.
So, I've always stressed that in my early times that I've always wanted to make different types of music because I never wanted to be constrained to one thing or be put in a box because that just leaves you stuck at the end of the day. So
I'd love to talk about your visual world and kind of when you started expanding on that and that is aesthetic, I guess you kind of bring. And do you feel? I see you play a lot with your photography and like the butterflies, and like I said, it's going into what do you try to do when you picture your visual world? What is it that you are? Let me rephrase this. I don't know. What do you see? And if you were to close your eyes right now and you're imagining your music or you're working on a song, it's like what do you start picturing and what do you?
okay, so the world is always lavender. The sky is always lavender whenever I'm picturing the song. It doesn't matter what vibe I'm feeling. And it's just, man.
So like for me, I start and white's my favorite color, and so
Right.
I see white, and I don't know if you've watched anime, but like the hyperbolic time chamber, so it's just an empty white space, and so that's what I see, and then I see things popping up, like out of thin air, and so that's like for me my world. It just starts popping up out of thin air, and then maybe things can meld together, and it gets kind of surreal, and so.
I have, you know what? That's funny because I play Sims, and Sims 2, there's like this feature where you basically can build your own town. And so in this town, I start with one house and I just build around it and make
Right.
it all beautiful, add trees and stuff. So when you said it's like a blank white and you just add stuff to it, that kind of reminded me of that a little
Yeah.
bit. So I would say, just. I'm, like I said before, just building upon
Yeah.
just building on what you have, starting on,
I know it's a hard question,
yeah.
and like I said, it's hard to
It's like
describe.
a blank canvas.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you just never know, but you go wherever your mind takes you.
Like what Bob Ross said, you go wherever the brush
The brush takes you, yeah. I love Bob Ross.
Me
Such
too.
amazing. I used to go to sleep to him all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
What other things do you love outside of music?
I love video games.
Okay.
I'm a huge Marvel Rivals fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a strategist main for anybody who wants to try me, you know. But other than that, I love video games. I love drawing. I just love writing in general. Doesn't matter if it's a poem or my feelings. I always have to write something down. What else do I love, man? I said drawing. I just love being out in nature too. I love being outside, just being amongst the trees, you know, just feeling that authenticity of the air blowing on you. Spending time with my dog as well. I'm a dog dad. I love him so much. That's pretty much what
What kind
I
of
do
dog do you
outside
have?
of that. He's a Terrier Schnauzer. He's a mix. Very
I
smart.
already know he's a little cutie. That's
He's a
adorable.
he's very smart. Very spoiled. Man, crazy.
You
Yeah.
got to. If you're a dog dad, you got to.
Yeah.
You got to spoil that little guy. He's got 15 years on this world. You got to
Exactly.
make sure the best
Gotta
15 years
spoil
of his
him.
life.
Man, he's giving me the best 15 years of mine. I know he's gonna give it to me. So, man, yeah, special dog. But that's what I do outside. I used to play sports here and there. Just like do community stuff. Used to play baseball and stuff. But
Did you have a favorite position?
in baseball, I was always in outfield. Yeah, I always had to catch that ball. And like I always made it my mission to catch that ball, even if it was so high. Like I have to catch it, because if I don't, people are gonna be like, "Oh, you suck." That's how I felt. Like it's the worst. But yeah, I also used to run track a little bit. Yeah, I need to get back into more like working out and stuff. I've been slacking on that, and I also do a little ganja. So there's that.
As we did too. As we did too.
I'm sober, but I'm California sober. That's what I
Okay,
tell a lot of people,
okay.
so, but no, that's awesome. Going back to your music, is there a recent song we could maybe talk about? Like you've recently dropped that you'd really love to give a spotlight to or shine a light on, and maybe something that resonates with you deeply. We had listened to quite a few of them, and I know you just dropped that EP.
In My Own World, yeah.
Yeah, the In My Own World EP, and so
It was gonna be a line, but there's a song on my first project called Shades. That I really love, and I feel like a lot of people didn't get into that one. It's always it's one of my favorite songs. I think it was one of the first songs I recorded on that project. But yeah, it was very authentic. I didn't think too much about it. The engineer that I was working with at the time, he pushed my pen. Like when I wrote something, he was like, "Nah, that's whack." I was like,
that's good.
and that was the first time he ever did that. So I was like taken aback. I was like, damn, okay. So I was sitting there for like an hour maybe, because I've never been told that, and I really wanted to write the perfect verse. And when I showed him my verse, he was like, yeah, bro, this is tight. He was like, record that shit. And so ever since then, I was like, damn, bro, like that was the first time somebody to my face said that.
Gave you feedback.
Yeah,
honest
he gave me
feedback.
real
feedback.
authentic feedback. And I've never gotten that before, besides my choir teacher, of course. Everybody else said, yeah, bro, that's good.
When you
But
get it the first time, you kind of
You
it's
kinda
like,
listen.
whoa, like,
Yeah. Let me listen
You
to
have
this.
to
Let me
not take it
this in.
personally. Your instant
Exactly.
reaction is to take it personally. You have to
Exactly.
whoa.
I was like, whoa, okay, maybe I'm not as good as I thought, but I can still redo this and make it, something. And I did. And ever since then, that's been my favorite song, man. Shades.
Shades.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
Were you able to
definitely,
find that,
yeah,
or-
I definitely
Yeah, I
can.
got it right
I
here.
definitely can agree to that, because Ben has multiple times told me, "Hey, you could do this a little better." Like it's just for me. Like I get caught up in my mind, and I'm like, "This is good," and then somebody
Right.
tell me like, "Yo, you could work a little harder," and I'm like,
Are you serious?
"Come on, bro!" Like, so I definitely get where you're coming from on that.
Yeah.
I always try to keep the mindset to, and I've always repeated even since I was younger, which is I never believing that I've got everything figured out. The second I think I've got it figured out is the second I fall behind.
Right.
And so that's like I push that into anybody I work with as well, which is try to give satisfaction, yes, and recognition, but at the same time, don't feed your ego.
Exactly.
You can do better. And if you think that's good, I'll show you this person who's a little better. We were talking about it yesterday, to where it's like you work with people and people tell you that what you're doing is great, but then you start to work with people that are a level above you, and you realize like what they're doing a lot differently and what it actually takes to get to that level. And I think those jumps from just as you grow and get more proficient and more knowledgeable is a lot more than people realize.
Yeah.
And it's not so easy to do this. It's not, and there's a lot to do to actually get taking it seriously.
It takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. You have to do this every day.
Yeah.
And I have friends, they, how do you do this? Or how do you get in the studio? How do you write music? How do you go about this? I said, I do it every day. I do it every single day. I've been doing it every day since I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
So I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to keep learning things. I'm going to keep, growing in this. And I hope to grow and be better. Just like the greats, you know what I'm saying? I hope to be like Lenny Kravitz. I believe we share a birthday, him or Maxwell. One of those we share a birthday, but I hope to be like, those dudes one day and
Absolutely.
really be on some cool shit. So.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a really fantastic mindset to have, especially if you're an artist. I feel like every artist should have that type of mindset. And was there a specific moment in your life that kind of helped you get to that realization where this is where you need to be, or was it just something that kind of just like came naturally to you?
When I realized that nobody was going to help me with it, that's when I was like, okay,
That's all honesty.
yeah,
that's-
I need to do this. I need to take this seriously. Because back then, when my first song went viral on SoundCloud, it did. It got like 17 views, and I was 16 at the time. I was so happy. Not 16, I was 17. Yeah, 17. And I was so happy. I was like, wow, this shit is cool. Like, I've never, just watching the numbers grow, that was cool. But then I dropped another song, and I'm thinking it was going to do the same amount, and it didn't. And that kind of humbled me a little bit. I was like, even though that didn't, I didn't get that same success, this shit is fun. I don't care about that. I don't do this for the numbers. I do it because it's fun. It's something I've always wanted to do. So, yeah. I don't know. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
No, yeah, you did for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I be running off, man.
Like you said, when there's, you have to come to that realization that you're the only person that's going to take you where you need to get.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of work to
Nobody's
get
gonna
there. So
save
you gotta,
you.
Yeah, you got to take that initiative and
Yeah.
just get it done.
Exactly.
And like you said about how you can have one song that's really good, and then the next week you post something and it's like, oh, I only got a couple of views on it. That can be disheartening to somebody.
Exactly.
That really can put a wrench in somebody's works. But like you said, though, you got to realize, especially to be in this business, that you can't just run off the numbers. Like, yeah, the numbers are important for sure, and they do determine your success. Absolutely, no
Right.
one here is going to say otherwise. But the reality is that who you are as an artist, your core, the very thing you stand for, that is the backbone of who you are going to be in the industry.
Exactly.
you also can't fake your love for it.
Right.
We talked about like, because eventually people will see it. And if you're not,
You're
if
gonna
you fake
fall
it
on your
over,
ass.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
going to get to where you want to go.
Right.
And so, like you said, because you're true to it, a lot of times we like to ask people, like, how do you keep going when it gets hard? But really, I feel like the most consistent answer is that it's true to you. And if it's true to you, you're going to push through. You're going to find a way to figure it out instead of just stopping there.
Right.
Excellent. Well, I think that's a great place for us to take a pause.
Okay.
I agree.
Perfect. 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes.
That's a bit.
Crossing colors give you more of a touch of chrome. How you do, how you say are the perfect tone.
In 2019, you started posting music, and I think one of your earliest songs was the song Cream, correct? Or am I?
Cream soda, yes.
Cream Soda, yeah. Where has your music from that starting point? I'd love to start there. What was that first experience like making that song? Was that your first song that you posted?
No, it wasn't. I actually posted so I have a page on all music platforms that's called Lonely Boy,
Yeah.
IRL. I no longer go by that name, so I still have old music on there, and I have a project that's from 2018.
Wow.
So yeah, it's like a whole, I think 8-9 songs. But Cream Soda was one of those songs where it was fresh because I went through a breakup around that time.
Gotcha.
And it just really messed me up, man. I was just like, dang, like I gotta write about this. Like this is doing too much to me. I changed this. That was the first time I dyed my hair too. I dyed it a cream soda, blondish color.
Yeah,
I think.
right.
Because that was the name on the bottle.
Right.
So I was just like, I'm gonna write about this. I want to write about my experience with this situation. So here came cream soda. After I dyed my hair, I was like, I'm gonna name this song Cream Soda because the clouds are no longer white and sparkly and bright. Everything is dark and I feel horrible. That's how I felt. So that's what Cream Soda embodied. Yeah.
If you go back and listen to that song, do you think it means anything different to you now, or like this is still kind of?
I still feel the same. I don't feel the same, but I felt how I understood how I felt back
at
then.
that time.
I was like, wow, you ate that. You did that shit.
Right.
So yeah.
Gotcha. A lot of your music and your identity, I don't want to say your identity, but as a theme in your music is love and longing, and music, you talked about it, therapy. And so how does your music, how do you help it? Do you listen back to it to help you heal?
I listen to it
over and
all
over
the
again?
time.
Because some artists are different. Some people don't like listening to their own stuff, but I feel like I make it for myself. I think Billie Eilish, that's also her say that. She's like, I listen to my music and I make it for myself. So why would I not be listening to it and bumping it all the time?
Exactly. Like I want to have fun too, just like everybody else. But yeah, I always go back and listen to my music just to see if I can do anything better. Especially with the tracks that I want to release now. I definitely go back and listen and see if I want to enhance anything or just change anything. But yeah, it's always good to go back and listen.
I feel like I have a hard time explaining my feelings, and so sometimes I make a song, and then after I make that song, it makes it a little easier for me to explain my feelings. You kind of feel the same way, like after I'm able to get it out in a different way. Now I'm able to go up to someone else and talk about it.
Exactly.
Like you said, you can't afford a therapist. I don't go to therapy. I should be in therapy, but
Right. Me too.
I do this. But then now it's like, okay, now that I got it out that way,
The
now,
music helps me. Like let me help myself before I can help everybody else first.
Right.
You know? So
And I say that's really good because recently, like some of the songs I've made, I've had to listen to them and I'm like, yo, the feelings that I'm getting now, I didn't get when I was recording them. Like I didn't understand it, but I think I do now because it's like I went through that and I let it go. Yeah. So like whatever I let go is just like, all right, I'll let it go. It's over with.
Right.
And I think that's a really good way to express yourself. But as an artist, I know we have to protect our mental health.
Yeah.
How do you protect your mental health?
By staying grounded, remembering who I am, and to always remember it's not that deep, because I can get overwhelmed sometimes. I'm a Gemini with a Virgo moon, you know, it's gonna happen. So it's like, just to always remember it's not that deep. I can put on some headphones, chill out, calm down. Everything will be fine. You know, I'm not dead yet. Everything is fine.
Yeah, you're just looking on the brighter side.
Exactly. I'm healthy. Like, I can walk. Like, everything is fine. We're good. You know, I always have to tell myself that.
I think it's easy to torment your own mind, and you can create the chaos inside of yourself.
Right.
Just by, like, that self-narration of going back and playing things over and over in your head, and you'll drive yourself
always
crazy
in my head, yeah.
doing that, but you can also, you know, work your way through it in the same way. And so it's just a matter of what you... Yeah, just breathe. What do you feel like music gives you that your regular life doesn't?
I'm sorry, can you answer that one?
Ask that one. Yeah. What do you feel like music gives you that your regular life doesn't?
It gives me peace. Peace of mind. Whenever I'm making music, whenever I'm listening to music, I'm just at peace, man. I'm in the moment, you know?
Yeah.
The world is moving around me, but I'm here. And that's what that shit does for me, man. That's what it does, and I appreciate it every single day. Without music, I wouldn't be here, and I'm pretty sure everybody else here could say the same thing. So, yeah.
It brings quiet, I think, sometimes to a very loud and noisy world.
Man, it's so much noise, so much. But when I put those headphones on, man, that noise goes
Blocks
away.
it out.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting that you say peace, because anytime that I'm out and about in nature, anytime I've ever gone on a hike or just gone out into the sun, I gain that sort of peace. And with that peace of mind comes a therapeutic feeling. And so this nature theme that seems to resonate through all of your projects, is that something intentional? Is that something that you intended?
Yeah, like I like outside of me are like this. Like that was the only place I could be free. I could be myself without being judged. You know, when I used to live with my grandparents, they had like this big field that I used to go out to. I shot cream soda in that field as well. I used to always go out there. I used to always write. You know, I used to just go out there and just sing because it was freeing. You know. So, of course, I had to incorporate that into my music, and because that was a part of me, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. It's a whole vibe, the whole thing.
And so I'd love to enter, and I'm pretty sure Sonny wanted to start us off into a segment. We wanted to just talk about some, ask you a question and maybe debate over it. And to have certain hot topics we'd love to talk about.
Spark a little bit, yeah, exactly.
Spark
Spark a little bit of
yeah.
interest, just talk about certain things, certain misunderstandings that people might have, especially people from the outside. Like I said, there's a lot of people who will be listening that don't engage in artistry like you do. So these types of conversational pieces are very important into understanding the truth behind the music. So one of the biggest things that I definitely get a lot of mixing opinions about between artists is, do you think it's better to build a smaller base and be more intimate with people, or do you think it's better to express yourself out on more of a larger scale?
Now, I've been in both situations because I performed at House of Blues before, and I performed in front of an intimate crowd. I do prefer the intimate crowd better because it's a better connection. People are listening compared to like a bigger crowd. People are talking amongst themselves, drinking. You just never know.
Absolutely.
So with an intimate crowd, you just make better connection, and people come up to you, and it's just like, you know, I really felt that. Like, I thank you. You know, it's the feeling of connecting with people that brings me the joy. So I prefer a more intimate setting.
And that just shows their appreciation for your art too. Like
Yeah.
it being an intimate setting.
They can get the real raw, you know what I'm saying, compared to just being on a bigger stage.
The counteract to that, though, is what if you have to do more of that, wouldn't you? Since theoretically, like someone would say, you can't take over the world one living room at a time.
Right.
And so, but
I mean,
what would you have to say against that? I mean,
I
like-
would say you can do either or. It doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. You're gonna reach people in either space. But from what I prefer, is a more intimate setting. Yeah.
You know, honestly, I can kind of agree with that. On the opposite end of the perspective, landing big shows and things like that are keys to breakthroughs, but you can't
You have
land
to do
those big
small.
shows if you don't have an audience to grow
gotta
from.
start
You have to
small.
start somewhere.
Exactly.
You don't just have a big snowball, it starts.
Exactly. Because if you start off in a big arena and people don't know your music, it's gonna get lost in translation compared to being in an intimate setting. And
some people might want to pay a bunch of money to go open for someone, but they don't realize that they'd be a lot better off just going somewhere locally.
going to do an open mic.
Yeah.
half the price, maybe.
And making that connection and
Yeah.
people being like, I remember you from this spot and you were
Yeah.
doing this and wow,
Yeah.
you came so far. You know, that man.
The process is what matters. People.
The
If you
process.
just immediately, I mean, one, that'll speak for industry plan. But if you just pop up out of nowhere, you're paying your way to just pop up out of nowhere.
Exactly.
People want to see the growth.
That's not gonna translate well because they're gonna be like, where the hell did this person come from? You know?
Yeah.
So
And I think even in that intimate crowd, it gives them the fans a chance to, well, not let's say fans, supporters a chance to introduce their friends to your music. So it's kind of like a snowball effect.
Exactly.
So that's why I feel like the intimate space is way better than just getting on stage automatically.
yeah. It's better connection. I cannot stress that enough. So
I got you. So kind of to go along with sort of creating your own brand among the smaller crowd, something that goes hand in hand with that is the investment in heavy visuals. Do you consider them to be essential, or do you think of them as a distraction? Because sometimes I think, honestly, especially if you're an artist who's starting out, if you focus too heavily on one thing, then you're not going to be able to develop your sound as properly. But I don't know. Would you disagree with that? Would
I don't disagree with that at all, honestly. But I will say, I'm sorry. Could you answer the question one more time? Just so
it's just Just do you think that, investing heavily in visuals is the most important aspect, or
Okay.
do you think it's a distraction from the actual music making process?
Um,
So I think a lot of people, especially small time artists who try to struggle with that, I think some of them might consider it a distraction. So what is it that you would say to that in, I don't know, maybe to somebody who's going through that similar struggle?
right, because when you are a small town artist, you don't have a big budget to like make visuals like that. So I would say put all your energy into the music. You can do visuals like reels, certain, little
Yeah.
shorts here and there just to like give people an idea of, what the music is. But, when you are starting out small, you do have to be on a budget. You don't want to run yourself dry too early. So, man.
Do you think it's like, I think like what trying to word is for an artist, sometimes you try to wear all the caps and you want to be
Right.
the person who creates the content, you want to be the person who produces. I mean, for me, I ran into that trap. And so should you focus on one thing or should you try to do a little bit of everything? Or do you feel like it diminishes the quality?
See, okay. So, with me, I focus on one thing at a time, right? So if I want to get the music done, I do all my music stuff first, put all the money into that. Once that's done, put all the money into mixing. Once that's done, put all the money into the visuals.
Got it. Okay.
So,
It's planned, it's structured, it's
Exact-
compartmentalized.
Checklist.
exactly, instead of things just being all over the place and, you're, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to do this or that? So it
It becomes a little bit of a messy storm.
Yeah, pretty much. And I know it takes a while, because I know for me it definitely takes a while for me to do that process, but it definitely gets done. And when everything is finished, it's going to be beautiful,
Right.
So it's just all about the process, like you said. So
Going back to the question, sorry, let's just rephrase that one more time. So,
Okay.
the world asks us to kind of stay relevant, stay apparent, and stay consistent. And you have to have a lot of output nowadays to even try to pop up on people's pages. And so I wanted to ask you is like, do you feel like you run at your own pace, or do you try to keep up with the pace the world is trying to set for everybody and try to maximize?
I try to run at my own pace, because if I chase the trend or chase the algorithm, I'm just going to get burnt out, and it's not going to be fun anymore, because
And so,
for me, for instance, music is fun, but to just constantly chase that algorithm, it kind of makes me feel like a robot.
I get that.
Yeah.
For sure. And so, do you like that that's the way that the business has come to? Do you kind of wish we'd go back to a simpler way of doing it? Or because sometimes it can be easier, it can be harder. It's just, the monster you have to deal with. And I think every genre or every decade has had the monster they had to deal with and
Right.
trying to come up.
No, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with it, because you can reach so many people, right?
Yeah.
There's always there's an upside to it.
Yeah.
You can reach so many people compared to, back in the day when you have to go through a label or there were gatekeepers, Now you can just do it and
Right.
show yourself, and people will find you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's
I think like we were talking earlier, I think it's really a matter of perspective, because
Yeah.
it's easy to look at your feed and be like, man, how am I ever going to make it show up? Because there's so many
Right.
people doing what I'm doing. There's so many artists making music. There's so many people dropping content and blah, blah, blah. But then at the same time, it's also easy to look at your phone and be like, I'm 5 seconds away. I'm 5 minutes away from posting a piece of content that could change my life.
right.
And so it's like it's all in your head. It's all mental, and it's how do
Exactly.
you look at it?
But I also want to still be authentically myself and not just be a show pony as well.
Yeah.
Because
I get that.
when I do see like certain stuff, it's like, okay, it's giving you selling yourself a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. For sure.
But I guess that's the wave now. That's the thing. So I don't have a problem with it, only because you can reach a lot of people. But at the same time, you don't want to get burnt out. And
Right.
Yeah.
That's a funny time, because like genres used to make you sell yourself pretty much, or not labels like record labels used
Yeah.
to make you sell yourself to be able
To
to do it. And
malls.
so everyone's like, I
Yep.
want to get away from that, but then what do the majority of the
It's
people
the
do?
same
They do the
thing.
same
It's the
thing.
same
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So we're just gonna be following the
It's
same.
a cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you try to keep with trends, the same thing. If you're not staying authentic to yourself, the trend's gonna die.
Yeah.
You can't roll and just be a show pony for a bit. Or you're gonna die, and it's not gonna be meaningful.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I do prefer a more steady pace, only because it keeps me grounded. You know, I don't have to think about too much. You know, so it feels natural in a way for me.
You know, I think people that are starting out, though, they might have the opinion of that maybe seeing a steady output, staying consistent and keeping a steady output of content, but not really seeing anything grow from it. Some people might consider that a plateau. But as somebody who's behind the scenes, I mean, I personally disagree with that.
Okay.
What would you have to say in disagreement to seeing that as a plateau, as seeing your content go unloved for the sake of conversation, and seeing it as like, oh, well, it's not going to go anywhere? What would you say in argument to that?
Because I mean, going viral is the thing now, and you can go viral today and be nobody tomorrow.
Yep.
So I would say going slow and steady, it just builds the momentum into people, I guess, gravitating towards you, and it's a whole process thing. So if you're going slow, it builds momentum for people to love you, and you're gonna get there eventually.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you chase that viral moment, if you pop off, cool. But how are you gonna handle that when it happens? You know, compared to you working and you're trying to prepare yourself for this moment, and you got all this. Damn, what am I trying to say? You're trying to prepare yourself for this moment, and you have all of this stuff that you prepared yourself for, compared to you going viral, and you don't have anything now. It's like, what do I do next after this viral moment? What's next?
Go viral? Yep.
Damn, that's a great way to put. That's actually a really great way to put it, because I mean, if you have a consistent, steady flow of content, and then you do get viral, boom, then you have a bunch of other stuff
And
that
now
can
you have
supplement that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like the slow burn of everything, and the process of going through and of creating, and just having everything seem natural. I feel like, instead of just chasing that virality.
Would you be willing to say, though, maybe at some point, though, if you do see years and years of just no consistent change, do you think maybe at some point that tells you, all right, maybe I should do something
Yeah, just switch it up.
Yeah,
of
switch
course.
it up,
Of
yeah.
course. Of course,
You
switch
do
it up.
have to look at, I mean, it's a business way, but data. You have to look at
Yeah,
what
that's-
works and what doesn't sometimes. And like I said, you don't want to be a show pony, but I think at the same time, you do have to understand what is.
My thing is, you do have to be prepared for it when it happens.
Right.
Just be
Yeah.
prepared. That's my whole
Yeah.
thing. So, yeah.
And so, you may disagree with me, but I always say I don't believe nowadays that the music is enough. And with that, it's because the people fall in love with the person as well.
They
And
want
so
the
they
personal
care more about the
story.
story and the person, the
Yeah.
growth, the process. And so there's so much good music and a lot of unrecognized music that your music isn't just going to speak for itself nowadays.
Yeah.
And so if you're not doing the work on showing people the other side, showing the process, giving and just getting a little deeper, it's hard for people to really attach themselves.
Right.
That makes sense. Okay.
That's just how I think, but that's something that I tell people, but at the same time, it could be different, and maybe I will run into someone whose music is just so legendary. I don't.
Right. I mean, you can still be consistent, but when you do get overwhelmed, you can also slow down, slow your roll
Right.
a little bit, and get back into that shit. Fall back into it. So,
Awesome. I want to go segment then into a new segment we started just a few weeks ago, which is the Leave the Light On.
okay.
And so I want to go into that, and what that is and what we've started a few weeks ago is we are wanting to give you a chance to speak to the next person that's going to be sitting in that chair.
Okay.
And so what that is kind of like this, quite literally, leaving the light on for the next person to come in here. And so it can be a message, it could be a question, it could be a word, it could be a picture, it could be anything that speaks to you.
Okay.
And on top of that, under your card, we have the artist that we just had last leave a message for you.
Okay.
And we haven't even read it yet. And so you reading it will be the first time, and we'd love to see your response to that, and maybe just what it means to you. And so the last artist we had on was Adrian Peace.
Okay.
He's a cinematographer, artist. He runs his own visual company. And so he was a really intelligent man. He was a really talented man we spoke to. And so show us and show everyone watching what it is that he said to you.
What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail?
Keep working hard. Keep being consistent. That's what I would do. Keep
Yeah.
pushing that needle. Keep going. Man,
You kind of have to have that mindset, I think, even to be an artist a little bit, is that idea of I can't fail.
Yeah.
I think to get down, if you have that idea, that makes you dangerous.
Right.
Maybe a little
exactly.
bit.
It
I
does
can't
make you
fail.
dangerous.
I
Right.
can't fail. I'm
It
gonna do
makes you a
this.
force to be reckoned with. And I be having that kind of feeling in the back of my head, like I can't fail. I can't. I have to keep going. I have to keep doing this. So man,
Makes you relentless.
yeah, I
Keep
gotta
trying,
stay relentless.
Keep trying, persistent.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push through.
And that's the fun part. That's the process.
Yeah.
So
Like you said, driving that needle, keep it pushing.
yes, exactly. Growing.
Keep the record spinning. Well, that's awesome. Can't wait to be able to share what's on with our next artist.
Yes,
that's gonna be
sir.
coming. I believe we actually have someone coming in a few days, and so
Okay.
I'm very excited to show that. Going into what's next, we've gotten to talk about you. We've gotten to tell your story a little bit. We've gotten to dig into the theme of why you make music, where you started writing, when you started singing. And so circling all of that back around, I'd love to be able to give you the opportunity to shout out anyone in your life that's meant anything to you. I know you've given us a couple names already, but just to take the time for people, and you can even give us a little bit of why if you'd like to or not, but just shout out anybody that means something to you in your life and people that have been there for you in your musical journey.
Okay. I want to shout out my siblings, all 8 of them, because they always, yeah, it's a lot of us, but they always show me so much love and so much support, just coming out and supporting me. So like, I really love every last one of my siblings, even the babies. So,
That's beautiful.
yeah.
Well, heck yeah. I believe that's most of what we have today. Is there
Okay.
anything else that you wanted to let the world know? What do you want people to take away from this? What do you want people to take away from you? Is there a message you want to send out to the world? I mean, the floor is yours. Is there anything you'd like to say?
To be honest, y'all, I'm just gonna continue to be authentically myself, and whatever you see is what you're gonna get. So, but yeah, stay tuned for new music as well. I'm dropping more pop music, more dance sounds, just to get the people moving. That's just the vibe I'm feeling right now. So just look out for the new music. Yes,
Awesome.
sir.
Go listen to In My World. Go listen to Shades. Go listen to Cream Soda. Some of the songs I
Yeah.
mentioned. Go listen to
Yeah.
SAB.
Let's get into all
Repercussions.
that.
Just
Go
listen
listen
to
to
the
all
whole
of it.
discography.
Go listen to
Everything.
Go to the
Listen to
YouTube,
everything.
every single song.
There's no skips, no nothing. Everything is great music.
Oh, don't say that.
It's
Oh,
great
appreciate
music.
it.
Put it on your
Go
story.
go listen to it.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Well, Jahmeel, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. We appreciate you coming to sit down with us.
Hey, thank you
And
guys for having me. I
we
really
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
We can't thank you more than enough for your patience through all the, technical areas and a little bit of difficulties today. So, the whole point of this and the whole reason we do this is because your story matters before the numbers do.
Yes, sir.
We want to shine the spotlight on people
Yeah.
before they've made it. Everyone wants to know after the fact. I want to know it before, during the fact, while you're going through the process, while you're growing, while you're becoming who you are.
Right.
Because I think that's what matters. And I think that's what's important and what people miss out on sometimes.
Right.
And it's easy to glamorize it after the fact. It's easy to not make it so real and authentic. And that's what I'm trying to shoot for, is the authentic version of ourselves while we're going through it. I think it's easy to I think we see the same quote. It's, you don't realize you're in the good old days until the good old days are gone.
I'm gone. Yeah.
And so maybe
Wow.
looking back at this, like being able to take a picture of the good old days, maybe this is the good old days. And once again, when we look back, we'll realize that.
Yeah.
And so, once again, you take an opportunity on us. We're just getting started on this. We're learning how to do this as we're going through it, and we're new to this. And so,
Yeah.
but once again, that's what I'd like to show the world. And so, thank you for taking a chance on us, sitting down with us, and we appreciate being able to actually shine the spotlight on
Yes,
you today.
sir. I appreciate y'all, man. I was so happy. I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like, man, I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, guys, this has been Original Minds, an Intrizio podcast. This has been our Artist Spotlight series, and this has been Jahmeel. Thank you for sitting down with us and listening, and we'll see y'all next time.
Thank you,
Peace.
everyone.